Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right, so shout out to everybody who is in the room already. If you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you guys cannot hear me, then give me a thumbs down or an angry face, and let's get into it, all right? I'm going to shout out all the early birds. Good to see y'all here, all right? Shout out to my man John Guillory. It's good to see you, bro. Shout out to Carla Lockhart. Shout out to JD Informant. Shout out to Katsy. Shout out to Vovo2 Love. Shout out to Denise Scales. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Shout out to Jay the Informant. If I didn't say Jay the Informant already, shout out to Black Spider. Shout out to AJ. Shout out to Lloyd Sky 9. Shout out to, I think that's it. So shout out to everybody that's here. All right. So first order of business. How many people heard about Flint, Michigan? If you guys heard about Flint, Michigan, let me know in the comment section. All right. This is what the laws did. No convictions for Flint. Attorney General ends water crisis prosecutions. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Is anybody surprised about that? If you guys are surprised about that, give me a thumbs up. If you're disappointed, give me an angry face, all right? No convictions. Attorney General ends water crisis prosecutions. So let's go back over the events that took place in Flint and ask ourselves, why would the Attorney General not prosecute anybody? We're going to look at a couple articles about this because remember, this is the laws. State prosecutors admitted defeat Tuesday in their efforts to prosecute public officials over harm caused by the Flint water crisis. Apparently, no harm was caused. Courts have dismissed all charges against the 9 people indicted in 2021, including former Governor Rick Snyder. One Flint pastor called the news unsurprising, saying that injustice in this community has been the norm. How do you guys feel about that? Interesting, huh? It appears no additional public officials will be held criminally responsible for the Flint water crisis. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Had this water crisis taken place in another community, do you think that anything would have happened? So, what message is this sending? What message is this sending? Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel's office said Tuesday that it has ended its quest to prosecute public officials for their role in the crisis shortly after the state Supreme Court shot down efforts to charge former Governor Rick Snyder. Man, that protection racket is a beast, isn't it? At this time, the court has left us with no option but to consider the Flint water prosecutions closed, read a statement from the prosecution team appointed by Nessel. Okay. The team led by Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy and Chief Deputy Attorney General Fonda Howmond promised to release a full and thorough report to the public in the months to come, detailing the efforts and decisions of the state prosecution. Now, here's my question. What is that going to do to fix the situation? And shout out to Denise for hitting the Nightbot. It doesn't matter at this point as far as releasing a report without any prosecutions. What this says is that this is an open invitation for politicians to work with corporations to utilize chemical warfare to destroy highly black populated areas. So now my question is, if people don't want this to happen anymore, what's the response? How do people deal with it? People need to understand that the government, I don't know how many times, you know what I'm saying, like this has to be talked about, but I guess, you know, it does. We have to continue talking about it. The government is not going to do anything except for harm you. Oh, they have plenty of money for clean water, Volvo. It's just not going to get diverted to us. Look at all, if you go to Sam's Club right now, there's plenty of crates of Dasani. There's plenty of crates of Aquafina. There's plenty of money for clean water. What we have to understand is that the idea is to have us die of thirst, which means that if we're thirsty, unless we take the water, we're not going to get the water. You know what I'm saying? Facts. If you guys agree with Lloyd Sky 9, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. And shout out to Lloyd Sky 9. Throw some radiation emoji in the chat. First stream sponsor with the $5 super chat. Lloyd Sky 9 says, if I were a Flint resident, I would pull myself up by the gun straps. Facts. I agree. I agree. The report is expected next year. News that nobody will be prosecuted left Alan Overton, pastor of Flint's Christ Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church, dejected but unsurprised. So now my question is, what's up with that Christ that he prays to? Christ to take care of it, right? Shout out to my man AB Promotions. Shout out to Torian Rain. What's good with it? Hey, you like that that AI character I made of you, didn't you, AB? That shit looked just like your ass. That's hilarious. Injustice in this community has become the norm, Overton said. This just continues to show us that this legal system that we call justice system is not really justice at all. Okay, wise words. Where's the actions to follow it? This is what I'm talking about. Where's that Christ at to save you, to fix the water? Let me ask you guys a question. During this crisis, how many parts per million of water got spontaneously purified by quote unquote Christ? In this community, injustice has become the norm, Overton said. This just continues to show us that this quote unquote legal system that we call justice is not really justice at all. So my question is, why are people still calling it a justice system? Why are people still calling it a legal system? Why are we still addressing these things as things that they're not? I want everybody to start addressing me as Emperor and Lord Blacklight. From here on out, I won't respond to anybody unless I'm addressed as Emperor and Lord Blacklight. Now, here goes my question. How many people are going to address me as that? Anybody in here going to call me that? Probably not. Why not? Because I'm not an emperor and I'm not anybody's lord. So ain't nobody going to call me that. This system has never given anybody justice. And everything that goes on in this system is illegal. So why does anybody call it a legal system? Let me ask you guys a question. Do you all feel that we have enough evidence compiled where if anybody wanted to challenge our notions of how we classify this system, we wouldn't be able to do it successfully? Are people not confident in our data gathering? My question is, why would you continue to call this a legal system if it's not a legal system, if it's not a justice system? If justice isn't consistently given from this system, why do people continue to call it a justice system? Who's got a gun to somebody's head making them call this a justice system? The news marks a major defeat for Nessel, who made headlines shortly after taking office in 2019 when she opted to throw out earlier criminal charges filed under her Republican predecessor, Bill Schuette, and relaunched the state's investigation. By then, prosecutors hired by Schuette had secured a handful of misdemeanor plea deals and promised more charges were coming. But the new Nessel appointed team argued that Schuette's prosecutors had failed to pursue all available evidence. They dropped the remaining cases and started over. The Detroit News last week estimated that the state had spent at least $60 million in legal costs tied to the crisis, including the criminal case and litigation that led to a $626 million legal settlement with the state and other parties. Now, let me ask you a question. How many people do you think that suffered from this particular crisis got anything out of the settlement? You guys think anybody got anything out of the settlement? The Flint water crisis began in 2014 when the impoverished majority black city, which everybody claims to care so much about, while under the control of a state appointed emergency manager, which is what we talk about, switched its water supply from Lake Huron to the Flint River to save money without requiring corrosion control to keep lead from leaching from the city's older water pipes. This was clearly negligent. You know what I'm saying? Clearly negligent, criminally negligent. How many people were hurt and harmed as a result of this? As residents of the then 99,000 person city complained of murky and foul smelling water, the Snyder administration downplayed the threat and insisted that the water was safe before later acknowledging the problem. Isn't that what happens all the time? Now, here goes the question, right? Everybody is so, look at this, check this out. Now, if I was talking about something else, there'd be more than 17 people in here. Would you guys agree with that? If you guys agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. If I ended this stream right now and started talking about Fresh and Fit or some dumb shit, just pearly things, or did a reaction to a Corey Holcomb video, there'd be a ton of people in here, right? But this is the shit that people claim that they care about. Oh, what about Flint? These people right here, these people that run the court system, these people that run the injustice system, they care about Flint just as much as the people who claim that they care about Flint, which is why ain't nobody watching this shit. I want y'all to see it. This is the evidence. So when I say this kind of shit and people get upset or people lie and say that they actually care about this, no, they don't. No, they don't. Shout out to Patricia Slade. What's good with it, Patricia? They don't care. They only care to be outraged. They don't care because they actually care about making a difference. I want you guys to see it and believe it and accept it. Witness it with your own eyes. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the lead crisis coincided with 2 Legionnaire's disease outbreaks and 12 deaths. Now, I want you guys to understand this. This is the same thing that they do all the time. The Snyder administration downplayed the threat and insisted the water was safe before later acknowledging a problem. Now, let me ask you guys a question. When it comes to complaints that we have about other things, how many times do people say that there's nothing there and then later acknowledge a problem? How many times does that occur? I need you guys to list in the comment section for me things that we complain about frequently that the dominant society, as well as their enforcement arm, aka the government, will try to shout you down and say doesn't exist or is not there or is not an actual problem. Or why do you keep focusing on this? Why do you keep focusing on the water? I don't know. Maybe because we have to drink water. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the crisis posed a particular risk for tens of thousands of Flint residents who were children at the time. I mean, but it's not affecting anybody that's alive today. I'm going to tell you guys something. This is why there's not a lot of progress made. Yeah, all the time. Facts, Black Spider. Facts, Tone, racism. This is why not a lot of progress is made, though. There's not a lot of people that actually want to fight this head on. A lot of people want to be part of a loud group making noise. But then as soon as that group dwindles, or as soon as they don't have the cover of being able to camouflage within that group, they're not going to say anything. Facts, like racial wealth gap, but they will complain about getting robbed while working or studying in the inner city. Facts. This right here, this is the reason why I say people that actually care about this kind of stuff, that's why people that care about this stuff are the only people that should benefit from any kind of efforts to deal with this kind of stuff. It shouldn't be everybody. Everybody needs to continue to suffer. Shout out to David Brown. What's good with it, bro? You know what I'm saying? So now here it says lead is a neurotoxin that can damage the brain and nervous system, particularly in children whose brains are still developing. And then they'll sit there and say that you got a low IQ genetically, while downplaying the fact that they're putting poisonous heavy metal into the water. And appreciate Brooklyn Queen and Denise hitting that nightbot. Thank you, ladies. In the years since, government, academic, and nonprofit organizations have marshaled resources to intervene, including monitoring the health of Flint children. A settlement reached with the state of Michigan and other parties devotes most payouts to the people who were children at the time of the crisis, while reserving additional money for special education services. Why are they reserving money for special education services? In most cases, when somebody endures damage as a result of a situation that occurs, the punitive damage in the form of money is paid out to those people. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. And real quick, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, please take a moment. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell and subscribe to the channel, please make sure you guys take a moment, hit the bell, and subscribe to the channel. The prosecution team secured indictments against 9 people in 2021, relaying a one-on-one grand jury. Genesee County Circuit Judge David J. Newblatt to issue the indictments. Those originally charged include Snyder, former Michigan Department of Health and Human Service Director Nick Lyon, former MDHSS employee Nancy Peeler, former MDHSS medical executive Eden Wells, Jared Agan, and Richard Brayard, who were top aides to Snyder, Howard Croft, former director of Flint's Department of Public Works, and former emergency manager Gerald Ambrose and Darnell Early. Now, I want you guys to understand this. If it was up to the state of Michigan and if it was up to the city of Flint, they wouldn't have prosecuted for this. And shout out to Carla for hitting the nightbot. They wouldn't have prosecuted for this. The only reason why they wanted to prosecute for this, and shout out to Lloyd Scott 9, appreciate it. The only reason why they prosecuted for this was because the woman who's in charge now has a political issue and a political rivalry, you know what I'm saying, against the individual who's in office now. That's it. She wanted to give that individual a hard time. Nobody really cares about this. As you guys can see, the people that's affected by it, like honestly, for real, ain't really thinking about it. So these prosecutors and everybody else, damn for sure ain't thinking about it. But this woman saw a opening and a potential to be able to advance her political career and at the same time appear to be a hero or appear to be a savior. So she decided to jump on this. She don't really care about these people here. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the one-person grand jury process. And how is there a one-person grand jury? Has anybody ever heard of that? If you guys have heard of a one-person grand jury, give me a thumbs up. If you guys haven't, then give me a thumbs down. How is it a jury? You know what I'm saying? If there's only one person. Think about that. How is there a jury if there's only one person? The one-person grand jury in which a single judge reviewed evidence and decided on charges out of public view was quickly criticized by defendants' lawyers and some prominent voices in Flint. It was totally political, which is what I just said Overton. I've been in disagreement with this whole process. The Supreme Court later ruled that the closed-door process was improper, concluding that the Michigan law did not allow the grand juror to issue indictments. The court said Flint defendants had a statutory right to a preliminary exam, something that the grand jury process denied them. So now, why is it that you think that they did all of this special stuff that they don't usually do for this particular case? Shout out to Cameron. Why do you guys think that they did all of this special stuff that they don't usually do for this particular case and didn't do it for other cases? Isn't there something strange about that? The Supreme Court's ruling prompted lower courts to dismiss all charges against all parties. This thing never stood a chance. This particular situation, getting justice in this particular situation, never stood a chance. Prosecutors' attempts to appeal repeatedly failed. How did they fail? How did that happen? How do you fail filing an attempt? Right, exactly, Deneen. A grand juror, one person. Culminating in a final Supreme Court order Tuesday that left in place the dismissal of misdemeanor charges against Snyder. We are not persuaded that the question presented should be reviewed by this court, stated the order from the High Court. The former governor lauded the dismissals in a Facebook post in which he vowed to work towards a goal of, quote unquote, ending political persecutions in Michigan. So that's what this was. It was a political persecution. Unfortunately, the only way to end political persecutions would require electing attorney generals and prosecutors who believe in facts, have a moral compass, and act with civility, he said, which I find fascinating because he's the one that allowed them to dump all of that lead in the water in Flint. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the decision was no surprise. The court last month used identical language to dismiss charges against 7 other defendants. Now here's my question. How many people knew that last month 7 other defendants, when it comes to the Flint water case, were let off because charges were dismissed? If you knew about that, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't know about that, give me a thumbs down. Prosecutors continued to defend their use of a one-person grand jury, noting that it had been a long history of use in Michigan before the Supreme Court rejected its use in Flint. The court decided that a process which has stood in place for over a century, one whose legitimacy the court upheld repeatedly, was simply not good enough to hold those responsible for the Flint water crisis accountable for their actions, the prosecution wrote. Our disappointment in the Michigan Supreme Court is exceeded only by our sorrow for the people of Flint. They don't have any sorrow for the people of Flint. If they had sorrow for the people of Flint, then they would have done something. What do you guys think? I'm going to read this paragraph again. The court decided that a process which has stood in place for over a century, one whose legitimacy the court upheld repeatedly, was simply not good enough. So what I want y'all to understand is that in this particular situation, right, they changed the normal way that the court operates. You know what I'm saying? To deal with this. They never do that any other place. And nobody's even questioning it. This is happening unquestioned. Yeah, facts, Torian. Rick the Snake Snyder was able to slither his way right out of there with no consequence. Facts. Not just him, a whole bunch of other people. You know what I'm saying? Snyder's lawyer, Brian Lennon, argued that the longstanding use of one-person juries in Michigan doesn't make them legal. How are they not legal? That's my question. How are they not legal? Shout out to Black Magic. Black Magic says Jordan from Status Quo has been covering this story for years. Who is Status Quo? Is that a TV show or is it a YouTube channel? Or I never heard of him. But shout out to him for covering the story. But now what I'm asking is, what are people going to do about it? Besides, oh, it's a YouTube channel. Okay. That's what's up. I'm going to have to check it out. What are the residents of Flint doing about it? Is it one of those channels like Breaking Point? I'm just curious, you know what I'm saying? So now here it says, given the process was often used in Wayne County, Michigan's most racially diverse county, which again, there we go. Lennon said, we suspect that many minority defendants were subjected to this unconstitutional process, but lacked the money to challenge its constitutionality. So why didn't y'all just do it? Why didn't y'all take care of it? And again, we're not talking about minorities. They said earlier here, the majority black city and then somehow that dilutes down here to minority defendants. Minorities have money. Majority black don't. You know what I'm saying? So now here go my question. That dude on the Status Quo, what's the name of that channel? Status Quo? Did he talk about the reason why they go in this article here from majority black to talking about minority defendants? Did he address that? Is he going to address that in his book? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So now here says, perhaps now that unconscionable practice will finally end, he said. Prosecutors noted that the criminal cases were dismissed on procedural grounds rather than the facts of the cases. Although state law requires evidence presented to the grand juror to remain sealed, prosecutors said they plan to work with legislators to change the law in hopes of allowing the public to view the evidence against the former Flint defendants, to allow the people of Flint the opportunity to know how and why they were exposed to the lethal chemicals in their water is the very least that can be done, they said. Well, then do that. What's stopping you? Right? I mean, if they feel so strongly about it, do it. But it just sounds good. They don't feel strong about it. You know what I'm saying? They don't feel that strong about it. Facts. Let me ask you guys a question. Y'all think that Obama should get prosecuted too? I think he should. Here goes my issue with a lot of those channels like that guy that you guys are talking about. That what's his name? The dude from what's it called? Status Coop. I'm not trying to be funny or anything like that, but I don't care about what any of those channels say because those channels have to work half, not twice, half as hard as I work for double the results. And what's also frustrating is that people will stay subscribed to a channel like that, Status Coop, for whatever reason. But if I say one thing that people disagree with, they'll unsubscribe from my channel and then sit there and talk about how on code they are. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like channels like that. You know what I mean? Flint water prosecutions end with $60 million spent and 0 convictions. So let's see what they're talking about here. And my thing is too, like, and I ain't trying to sound actually I don't care if I sound like a hater or not. If it sound like a hater, then you know what I'm saying, like I'm just being a hater, then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent got rich and didn't die trying off of being a hater. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to be a hater. When it comes to those kind of channels, when you make like thousands of dollars in AdSense because the YouTube algorithm is over recommending you to make what you say appear more legitimate, you know what I mean? You got the resources and shit like that to actually do journalism. He's got all he got to do is drop 2 or 3 clips and he's got money for plane tickets. If I just asked for some donations, I have 1 million videos and people talking about I'm grifting, have me all on the thumbnail and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Donations. I'm asking for donations. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think that that dude is just doing that out of the kindness of his heart? Or is he doing that because he knows that social media creates a market that has an opening? I mean, they're not going to direct that traffic to Torian's channel so that Torian can actually cover some shit like that, like get a press pass and go over there and interview people. Or TD or Kid Gravity. Nah, like our channels, despite the fact that we have legitimate information. Right, exactly. What I'm saying, Black Magic, is of course he's gone to Flint. His channel probably has 500,000 or 600,000 subscribers. If we simply ask for donations, we're going to get called grifters. we're going to be called beggars. Hey, you said don't send them the link to TD. If I had 500,000 subscribers and I had free time, you know what I'm saying, and I had the ability to go to all these different places, y'all don't think I would? This is what Professor Black Truth was talking about this morning with his video. I want to just know the honest question. Do a lot of people that watch our channels, do y'all think that we just here to tell jokes as an alternative from the news, or do people actually look at this shit as actual coverage of media? That's my question, for real. I seriously want to know. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. I really actually want to know the answer to that question. Do people come to listen to our shit because we got good jokes, or do people come and listen to our shit because we actually give legitimate information? I can automatically hate Black Magic. I'm gonna automatically hate on this dude. I'm gonna automatically hate on this cat. Because I actually look at Black media first. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why Black media don't have all the resources is because people will watch that bullshit, give it extra views, give it extra AdSense, while our shit just sits here. People know all of the obstacles against us and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to give anybody that has a born advantage the benefit of the doubt. It'll never happen. It will never happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will never in my life do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I even recommend some shit like that, it's gonna be far down the line. Because if you ask me, people should have to be legitimately competitive. I do my own editing. I do my own graphics. Why do you think it's unmatched, Black Magic? That's my question. You think it's unmatched because he just has, he's a Mensa member and he just has a high IQ and his journalism skills are just far superior to anybody else? I mean, resources. I mean, why do you think that his reporting on Flint is unmatched? He's got access to news media and probably connections with politicians that we don't have. Of course, it would be unmatched. Do you think that ours is garbage because we're lazy? Because we don't compete with those people? I'm just curious. I want to know though. You didn't say that, so I'm asking you a yes or no. It is a competition. It's a competition. Everything is a competition. If it's not a competition, here's my question. What are any of us here for? Are we here to compete? Are people trying to get reparations so that we can be more competitive with people like that? I'm just curious. I think this is actually a good dialogue. Because like I said, people will unsubscribe from a channel like mine or a channel like TD or a channel like Torian and stay subscribed to that channel because they look at it as legitimate news. No, what I would like you to do, Black Magic, is I'd like you to answer my question. I don't think that I asked an inappropriate question. What I'm trying to figure out is I'm trying to figure out how people move. No, you didn't answer my question. I'll put all your comments up on the screen. So here's the first question. Right? So now you said, so I do, but I do not dismiss none black media because they're not black. Now, here's my question, right? Hate all you want, but his reporting on Flint is unmatched. Now, here's my question. This is the question that I asked that you didn't answer. I said, do you believe that his reporting on Flint is unmatched because of his journalism skills, or do you believe that he has resources and access to be able to get inside information and talk to politicians and financial resources that he gets from AdSense revenue on YouTube to be able to go back and forth to Flint, back to where he's at, to be able to do that kind of reporting? That's what I asked. And in none of these answers subsequent to that, you didn't answer any of that. So that's the question that I like an answer for. So you feel that it's his journalism skills. So here's my question for you guys. And Katsy, you watch this channel too, so you could tell me if you know what I'm saying. How many subscribers does this individual have? What's the subscriber count? And I think that is interesting about like okay, 155K. What's his average views on each video? If you guys can tell me. And I gotta agree, Cassie, he has the resources to make the trips to Flint, East Palestine. And there's nothing wrong with watching him. I'm not saying not to watch him. What I'm just saying is it's wild, like the degree of seriousness that people take other people's content over content that they claim that they want from the people that they claim that they want it from. Like, to me, like this is a pure example of it. How do you think he got them 155,000 subs? And then one of the biggest talking points that people have is that black men aren't competitive, right? You guys hear that all over YouTube. So then when you have a black man that's actually trying to be competitive, is why you turning this into a competition? Because it's a competition that we're at the bottom of. And I didn't turn anything into a competition. The people that created the situation that has us at the bottom created the competition. You know what I'm saying? So now my question is, if people like that kind of content, and this is no, of course you can. Yeah, no, not of course you can. What I'm saying is, the reason why I'm going through all this is to ask the question: how does somebody get built up to where they can have quote unquote good interview skills? I got good interview skills. I guarantee you that you probably saw more content from that channel, and you didn't get to see when me and TD interviewed the California Reparations Commission. Right? Now, why am I saying that? Because that was a situation where I was actually able to interview somebody, of course, with TD. But if we had more access to resources, we'd be able to actually do on the ground reporting. We might even be able to make networking connections with some of the local news networks, right? So now here's the question. How does somebody get built up to where they're able to do that kind of thing? See, because if you ask for donations, you're a grifter. You know what I'm saying? If you ask for any money, you're a grifter. Or you're trying to quote unquote scam the community. The Hotep Jesus interview, right, AB? Facts. So my question that I have is how does an individual get to the position to where they have the access to resources to where they have the ability to put their interview skills on display? That's the whole point of me asking this, because the question is, no. Why would I don't ever say that. You won't hear me saying that. That might be some of them other content creators that you listen to that say that, but I've never said that. I'm not the person that tries to out-black anybody. I say that all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I tell y'all about white content creators that I listen to. What I'm asking, right? This is what I'm asking. The way that people want to see black content creators, how do they get to that point? I talk about Spencer Cornelia all the time. He's a white dude. Please don't mix me up with some of these other people that say that you off code if you watch a white content creator. I've never said that. I've never said don't engage with white people. I've never said any of that. That's not me. Wrong content creator. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that you don't have to do is you don't have to guess. You could just answer my questions because they're very straightforward and they don't require any guessing. They just require an answer. My question is, how do you build people to be to the point of where those white channels are as far as subscribers? But it's not a big deal, Black Magic. I think this is a good conversation. And I don't want you to think that I'm picking on you, because I'm not. You just brought up a good point. You know what I'm saying? And I think and the reason why I don't want you to think that I'm picking on you. I'm not telling you not to follow nobody. You bring up a good point, and I think that it's a discussion that needs to be had. And the reason why I'm asking this question is because I think that people should start talking about growth strategies. You know what I'm saying? Right. See, Torian got it. Torian got what I'm asking you, Black Magic. And I'm not just asking you that. So please don't think that I'm picking on you, because I'm not. I'm asking everybody. What I'm asking is, how do the new black media reach the levels we should and deserve to be at? Exactly. So that we can do the things that you like from content creators like Status Quo. That's what I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? That's my question right there. So if you feel like I'm picking on you, or you feel like I'm being hostile towards you, I'm not. I'm trying to get to that question, because I think that that's important. because I think that once we are able to get to those levels, I think that people will look at us. But here's the thing though, we need to be at status quo levels. We need to be at levels where we have apparatuses off YouTube. We are in competition with status quo. I'm in competition with those people. You know what I'm saying? Burger King is in competition with McDonald's. They're not there for, to have fun and, you know what I'm saying, dap it up because somebody sold a Whopper or a Big Mac. Like, they're in competition. Like, I'm here to put people out of business and put people out of commission and do better than them and absorb their enterprises that they have and build mine. That's what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to play nice in the sandbox. You may not be asking me to be at status quo level, which is, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of, I think that we should all have that driving standard. Shout out to RJ, by the way. What's good with it, bro? To be at that level, right? But okay, so you're not, but I have that goal for myself. You know what I'm saying? Afro Elite talks about his goal of reaching 10,000 subs by the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has these kind of goals. We have to be competitive. We have to knock certain people out of the box. One of the reasons why people think that Michael Jordan is a GOAT is because he beat most of the teams that had major Hall of Fame players on them. He knocked them all out of the box. He had a hit list and he hit all the targets. I have a hit list. I'm trying to hit all my targets. You put me on the status quo. I never heard about status quo. You know what I'm saying? So now I gotta check them out and see what they're up to, see what they're talking about. Do you not feel that we should be competitive? I'm not trying to compete with other people that consider themselves new black media. I'm not trying to put nobody that's in new black media out of business or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to compete with them other folks. Okay, I ain't mad at that. I want you to be where you want to be. I get my news from all over for perspective on issues. I'm not mad about that. Shout out to G Mars. What's good with it? But here's my question. You've never just like wanted to turn on the TV and be like, I want to watch my news from a legitimate, competitive, hardcore, black-owned media news company? Like, has that ever like, have you ever like wanted to see that and it just wasn't there? And then ask yourself why it's not there. See, like, I guess like I've been through all these phases. You know what I'm saying? So like my response is a little bit different. Shout out to Win Loser Rug. You like that AI picture? So, right. So now here goes my question, Black Magic. If that's something that you want to see, my question is, how do you get from YouTube to actually having that? Yeah, I get that. I get that. Oh, and honestly, again, this isn't just a question for Black Magic. This is a question for everybody. I'm just talking to Black Magic because Black Magic is the one that's, she coming with the answers. We having a dialogue. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Yeah, I want to see that too. Me personally, I think we should be competitive. I think that we should have our sights and goals. In order to be competitive, we got to be competitive with other people who are quote unquote in the market. Let me ask you guys this. Do you all think that a reason why okay, so people always talk about how WS is on code, right? Shout out to my man Carlton Way for becoming a member. Make sure y'all throw some radiation emoji in the chat from my man Carlton Way. He gonna make me make a off code emoji, you know what I'm saying? So he can put that in the chat all the time. Do you all think, and I'm gonna ask you this question, Black Magic, because I appreciate the dialogue, but anybody can answer. Anybody can feel free to answer. Do you all, because we was talking, I think it was on Reacts the other day, and somebody had brought up the fact, I forget who it was, but somebody said politics is upstream from media. Who said that? We had talked about that yesterday, but somebody said it. See, this is why I actually feel that this is important. You know what I'm saying? And again, please don't feel like you're being attacked, because you're not. This is just a very important topic to me, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's actually good for me to have this dialogue. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I said, I don't want you to think that I'm, you know what I'm saying, getting upset or anything like that. I'm actually glad that this conversation is taking place, because I want to pick you guys' brain. You know what I'm saying? And if you hadn't have said anything, we would have never got here. You know what I'm saying? So, but who is that said that? Do y'all remember? Oh wait, no, it was politics is upstream from culture or something like that, right? That's what it was. Politics is upstream from culture. And shout out to Black Magic for the $10 super sticker. Definitely appreciate it. Appreciate it. You need to get the $10 for the super comment. You know what I'm saying? So the question that I want to ask is, because the WS media, the lamestream media, because they have so much reach, right? So much reach, that probably has a big impact on creating that appearance of quote unquote people being on code. Would you guys agree? Now, there's other issues that go into it, right? You know what I'm saying? There's the culture, and you know what I'm saying, people have been doing this stuff for centuries. But the media, if you ask me, their media is one of the things that is like the glue that keeps stuff together. You know what I'm saying? You got Fox News, they got like 20 million subscribers on YouTube, and then they got other you know, they got the news on TV. You know, CNN's got like the airport contracts and all that. They got all of this reach. They have so much reach. Most of the reach that we get is only on YouTube. So if somebody's not using YouTube, or somebody doesn't have access to a phone or a tablet or something like that, or even if somebody don't have a Gmail account or something like that, that automatically stops them from being able to have access to what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? So my question is, if we were competitive with those type of organizations, with those type of conglomerates, do you feel that it would be more easy for people to be able to be organized and less unorganized? And this, again, it's not just a question for Black Magic. This is a question for everybody. Black Magic just brought it up. She just opened up the conversation. She just opened up the window, opened up the door for the conversation. You don't think so? Okay. What, can I ask why not? I think it would be. Now, here go the thing though, right? The Breakfast Club is actually part of their media. That's not ours. That's part of them. You know what I'm saying? It's not that's not ours. It's something that's the Breakfast Club. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what the Breakfast Club is. The Breakfast Club is the media equivalent of putting a Church's Chicken in the hood. I'm gonna drop this place off that got some good taste and poison right in the middle of y'all, so y'all can enjoy it and kill yourselves while you're enjoying it. That's what the Breakfast Club is. they'll put how they'll put a Whole Foods and a mustard seed in the suburbs. They're gonna drop a Church's Chicken and a Popeyes in the hood. They're gonna put like the arts and wine and cheese type of restaurants and bars in the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? And then they're gonna put a liquor store and a ratchet bar with only one window in the back in the hood. But again, that's if you sit there and you wait for what they put in the hood. We need to be putting our own shit there. You know what I'm saying? The Breakfast Club is Church's Chicken of radio. So, you know what I mean? I don't know if I can say any media that has legitimately been created by like some grassroots person that is in mainstream circulation. You know what I'm saying? And Black Magic said, but outside of Tyler Perry or Byron Allen, how does one get eyes? You have to follow a protocol and keep working at it and keep building. And you have to understand that if that's what you want to do, if that's a long-term goal that you have, you may not see it in this generation. You may have to build something up, and then hopefully you have a good enough relationship with your kids or with your family that they'll carry it on if you haven't gotten to where you want to get to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Brooklyn Queen says mainstream media is called programming. New black media is about deprogramming. Cognitive dissonance is an obstacle to overcome to get our media to where it needs to be. Facts. And I actually am about programming. I'm actually about programming. I'm about deprogramming. I get it. But I think that there needs to be programming done too. You know what I'm saying? I think that people need to be programmed to always upplay our accomplishments first. You know what I'm saying? I think that people need to be programmed to not be nice, not show grace to people so quickly. I think that people need to be programmed on how to understand what reciprocity is. Now, and see, like this right here, and that will never be mainstream. Why not? If we take over the stream, why will it not be mainstream? I don't feel like I think too big. I feel like everybody else thinks too small. I'll sit here and tell everybody we can take over the entire world. It'll be everybody else fighting me, telling me no, we can't. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Good luck with that. I don't need luck. What I need is people that don't work against their own interest. I didn't need luck when I outcompeted everybody in college. The only thing I needed was my brain. So that means if one of me outcompeted everybody in college, that means that all I need are like 10 or 15 people who have a functional brain who are able to compete. That doesn't require luck. You need luck if you go to a slot machine. You need luck if you play a lottery number. Why would you why would we need luck dealing with WS if we have 400 years of understanding of how they work? What kind of luck is necessary with that? That's an entire data set to be able to predict things pretty accurately. Shout out to Win Loser Rug, our resident financial expert, our resident financial correspondent, Gorilla. You know what I'm saying? Our market price is predictable. Yes, we're here. You know what's crazy about us being here? We're here an hour and 11 minutes into the video, right? That I had a lot of other shit to talk about, and we're here because people have to be convinced at how necessary competition is. And then when we talk about competition, despite the fact that we have all the skills and all the information that's necessary to be competitive, for some reason, people think that luck is necessary. So let me ask you this. WS didn't have any luck when they did what they did and took over the world. Do you actually believe what you say about black people and greatness? Or do you believe that we need luck? That's my question. One of the reasons why people do so good in sports is because the natural ability outshines the lack of ability. They don't need luck. It I don't understand how. Can you explain how it's not a competition? And my streams can be anywhere from an hour to 12 hours long. I'm not derailed. If I was derailed easily, I would have never completed 4 degrees. This is a good conversation that we don't have in most cases, and we're gonna have it now. Shit only derails if it's going off of the track unpredictably. I don't know how many times I repeated. I said that I'm glad that you brought this up. We can talk about this. So I don't know how that's a derailment. A derailment is what your boy covered in East Palestine when the track wasn't put together and the train came off unexpectedly, creating a catastrophe. Is this a catastrophe? Shout out to my man Kid Gravity. What's good? But I'm not. What I'm asking about now is the luck thing. I want to know what you feel luck is necessary for, because that goes back to the competition thing. See, because like now, since when you brought up about the competition, right? When you brought up luck, now it's like, okay. Now I know why you said, well, it's not a competition, because it's almost like you're saying we need luck to compete, which means that my intelligence is being questioned because people with superior intelligence win. So we're going in the circle here. You said it. You said good luck with that twice. Then you said that will never be mainstream. So now the thing is, if you're saying that that will never be mainstream, then what you're saying is that we don't have the capacity to be able to be competitive with or overthrow WS. So then that's when I asked the question, why would nothing that we do ever be mainstream if we took over the mainstream? And then that's where the good luck with that was. So I want to know why we need luck with taking over the mainstream. Yeah, well, I also said that in the chat, guys. Did I not say all we need is about 10 people with brains? And I agree with Kid Gravity. My question is, what evidence are you using for your assertion that grassroots will never be mainstream? If your goal is to take this message to the masses, then this is on you and good luck. Isn't it on anybody who started a business? Isn't it on Rupert Murdoch as well? Didn't he do that? I need to know why you feel that black people aren't as capable of doing things that white people are. That's what I need to know. Or maybe just black men. I don't know. But whatever it is, I need to know where the lack in capability that you see comes from. And you're saying if your goal is to take this message to the masses, this is on you. As I'm literally reading an article that you so observantly quoted that the mainstream media put out first. So the mainstream media took this message and took it to the masses. But I'm not capable of doing it. You know what I'm saying? I can highlight where you literally said every single thing that I said. You know what I'm saying? You don't do if you didn't say you have all of the skills necessary to be able to be competitive. You said good luck, which implies that I need assistance outside of my natural skill set and capability. In addition to being articulate, in addition to being tech savvy, in addition to having multiple, certifications, degrees, whatever you want to call it, in addition to having a radio voice, in addition to having a good sense of humor, in addition to being able to do my own production, I just need a little pinch of luck, like I'm playing a pick four. Oh man. That's hilarious. So my framing, what is my framing? My framing is questionable. What's questionable about it? Is this why I'm not up to par with status coop because my framing is questionable? How is my framing not question? How is my framing questionable? Do you realize that you saying that it's not a competition does not make that a fact? You saying that this isn't a competition does not make that statement factual. I guarantee you that there's multiple articles that have content creators ranked from first to last. As a matter of fact, there's a site called Social Blade that has them ranked from first to last. Literally everything is a competition. Maybe, right? People that don't look at everything like it's a competition are always last in the competition. So this is what I'm talking about. Everybody always quote Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson said that life is a competition and race is your team. That's what Dr. Claude Anderson said. So this is what I'm saying about people don't even be believing a lot of the shit that they say that they believe. Literally everything is a competition. Who's not in competition? I'm competing on everything, every single thing, literally everything. I'm competing to stay alive as long as I possibly can. I'm competing to be as healthy as I possibly can. I'm competing to be the best man that I possibly can. I'm competing to make the most money that I possibly can. I'm competing to be as intellectual as I possibly can. I'm competing to be the best YouTuber that I possibly can be. Everything is a competition. I am a man. I compete. That's what men do. I competed on information in my academic career when I was in college. I never said that you're in my way. I don't understand what that was a response to. What you said right here is that you keep saying that it's not a competition. Now, here's my question. If you have a child and your child goes to school, do you tell your child it's okay to get all C's because it's just school? It's not a competition. Do coaches ever tell the players on the team, don't worry about scoring points? It's not a competition. So my question is, if it's not a competition, then to you, what is it? Because this is what you just quoted Professor Black Truth. So I'm gonna quote Professor Black Truth. Professor Black Truth said a lot of people watch us for entertainment. So if you're not so my question is, what is the expectation that you have when watching content like us? Me raising a child is not the same as listening to a story. We're not talking about you listening to a story. We're talking about you saying that me competing with another content creator is not a competition. So what I'm asking you is, would you tell your child, don't worry about getting the best grades that you can because school is not a competition? And if your child that goes to school learns from the way that people deliver information. So would you rather them learn from a person that delivers information efficiently, or would you rather them learn from somebody who's all over the place? Probably want them to learn from somebody who talks about information efficiently. So there's going to be a competition between teachers on who can help the child learn the best with the most efficient delivery. Child rearing and news and listening to news are different. Really? How so? Don't children learn from listening and observation? Don't they go to school for between 8 and 10 hours a day and listen to people deliver information? Carla was a teacher. I'm gonna ask a question. If you deliver information efficiently, is it easier to teach your students than somebody that has communication issues and doesn't deliver information efficiently? There's always a competition. No, they're not. Current events and how one rears a child are not different. Current events tell you what's going on in your school. Current events tell you about things with local politics, like issues or like funding that goes into your school. That's not true. I need you to please answer the question. Like, it's not that I'm not asking anything that's out of pocket. I need you to answer the question. What I think is that you actually don't have faith in what you say that you have faith in, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that's like that. I need to still know why luck needs to be involved. If you feel that us going against a different team requires us to have luck, that without saying shows where your faith is at, and it's not in us. You know what I'm saying? You can type it. There's no limit on how many times you can type something and it can be broken up in the comment section. You might have a limit of like 260 characters, but you got unlimited 260 characters that you can put in there. I don't do call-ins on this channel. I only do call-ins on reacts. And I appreciate the support, but I want you to just answer the questions that I'm asking. I don't think that I'm asking anything invasive or anything disrespectful. I'm asking things based off of what you said, and I want to know your responses. And you can type them in the comment section. If you want to call in, you got to wait till next time we do a reacts podcast. Because I'm gonna ask this question. If you happen to be watching, what's the name of that? What's the name of that channel? What's the name of that one channel that you just said? Would you ask that person to call in? Or would you just like the video and watch it? You would like that. You probably would like that video and watch it because you take that shit serious. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember a time when I watched a content creator that I took serious and was like, man, drop the link. Because I'm watching that content creator for information. Have you ever called in to his show? When you did call into his show, did you ask him like some black questions? I'm asking you questions. I mean, if you look at it as a challenge, then I guess it's a challenge. I don't care. I challenge anybody. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I want to know the answers to the questions though. Like asking me, are you challenging me, is not going to make me stop asking questions. What's going to make me stop asking questions is when you answer some questions and type them in the chat. Because again, like I said, I'm curious, but I'm really curious. This is it. This is interesting. You can't answer via chat. So you can't type it in? Shout out to Carla. Carla said, I taught regular ed, special education, and communication handicapped students. It was easier to teach the students that could communicate better than the special ed communication and the handicapped students. Yeah, facts. It's not really that much to type. Like literally, if I wasn't streaming, every little sentence that I've said would have been enough characters to type into the chat. And most of the stuff that I've been asking has been yes, no questions. And I know for a fact that there's you can use 2 characters in the chat. You know what I'm saying? First question, why do we need luck? That's something you can summarize in the chat. That's literally, honestly, that's the only question that I've actually been asking. And you've been trying to talk around that question so I don't keep asking it. Why do you feel that we need luck? Okay, why do you feel that luck is necessary? Let me ask you guys this, because maybe I'm like missing this. When people say good luck, does that imply that skills are necessary outside of your inherent skill set, or some type of intervention is necessary? You need a lucky spin. Because there's a difference if somebody says, "Oh, that's what's up. You got this." There's a difference between saying "you got this" versus good luck, right? Good luck is like, the the probability of you actually accomplishing what you want to accomplish, that's like 50-50. I don't know if it's actually going to happen. But if you had some luck, then it might. That's what I'm saying though, Black Magic. The goal, to me, the goal should be beyond content creating. Shout out to No Mustard, please. No Mustard, please. That's hilarious. Well, I mean, even if you are saying that I'm not as good, right? It doesn't matter. What I want to know is, how did Jordan get the resources to be able to do all of the good reporting that he did on Flint? I'm sure there was more involved than just the skills that he had. So how did he get what he did? How did he get what he had to be able to do what he did? That's the question that we started out with. You're not being attacked. And if you feel like this is being attacked, I don't know what to tell you, but this is going to continue until we get to the bottom of it. If you feel like this is an attack, I don't know what you're used to. An attack is when people get blocked. An attack is when people get called names. An attack is when somebody says, don't ever come back to their chat. None of that took place. What you're getting is called attention. There's a difference between getting attention and an attack. Why am I asking you about his resources? Because you watch his content and you know about the individual. I don't. So shout out to Jada Informant. Jada Informant gave us information about one of his resources. One of his resources was that he started with the Young Turks and he was dealing with other news groups. Jada Informant probably saw this from watching his content. So Jay doesn't work for him. Jay, you don't work for this individual, do you? You are Jada Informant, but you don't work for this individual, do you? So now, do you think that him having access to the Young Turks, I forget what the two names are, that would help with some type of networking opportunities? Yeah, I know you said that. Jay said that he was making good money before he went independent. I bet. Let me ask you a question. You think he was making more money than most of us make on YouTube, which would be able to help support his ability to create a better presentation? I pocket watch. I watch my own pockets. It's called being responsible and being on a budget. And I watch the pockets of other people. Here's my question. How do people not pocket watch if we talk about the racial wealth gap? Isn't that pocket watching? I would expect you to have a minimum level of understanding about what you watch. If you watch a Young Turks live stream, you can estimate kind of how much support they get. There's these YouTubers. They're called the Vanguard. These two white dudes. I think in the intro of their videos, they talk about they give credit to all their Patreon viewers. So you kind of understand about how much they make on Patreon. And then you compare, if you're a content creator, what you make with other content creators that are a similar size to you to be competitive. When you go to a job and interview for a job and you start talking about pay, do you just accept what they offer because you don't want to be pocket watching people? Or do you look on different websites like monster.com or like Career Builder and see what a competitive rate is and negotiate with the job offer for that rate? Because that's a form of pocket watching as well. There's nothing wrong with pocket watching. There's no shame in pocket watching. They have this field of people that do it called accountants that get paid very well. I watch pockets. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody should watch pockets. That's how you know if you're getting taken advantage of or not. Do you care if you're getting taken advantage of? Do you care like if you go one place and something is like $10 less than it is at the other place? Would you buy it from either place or would you rather buy it at the place where it's $10 left? $10 less. That's what I'm curious about. So like everybody pocket watches. At least people who have like some type of consumer savviness. There's a magazine called Forbes. There's another magazine called The Economist. You should learn how to multitask. You know why? Because Flint water prosecutions end with $60 million spent. Now, what I want you to do is there's a comment section on this page. You see it? It's got the little number 23 by it. Go type into those comment sections. You don't pocket watch, so take the $60 million figure out of the title. Because they pocket watching on this right here. See this? They pocket watching. See 60 million spent? That's pocket watching, right? This is watching pockets. Then they even have a little video down here about it too. Flint prosecutions come to end with $60 million. Well, the news led you inside somebody's pocket. What are we gonna do now? We are now deep within somebody's pocket. What should we do? What should we do? Should we go ahead and go in? Should we dive deeper into the pocket, or should we just stop right here? That's not with my logic. That's with something that you said. I didn't say that News Channel 4 was awesome and they did such a great job. But I mean, we can look it up. We can look up how much money News Channel 4 makes if you want to. I mean, it's a simple Google search. It takes like 2 seconds. Is that what you would you like that? Is that what you would like me to do? I don't frequent News Channel 4. Shout out to RG Titan. What's good? I didn't recommend News Channel 4 and say they do great coverage. I didn't say that I watched them either. You said that you watched that individual, so I just expected you to have like just a little bit of information about him. You know what I'm saying? How is that different? Did you not say that you watched Status Quo because of all of their reporting and you've watched them for a while? And you said that you watched the live call-in show, right? And in the live call-in show, you can see when super chats get sent, right? Show me on this channel how I'm supposed to tell you where super chats got sent at. Because this is a website, not a channel. You know what I'm saying? So, mhm. AB Promotion said, "Get your hand out my pocket." We might have to cut. We might have to not do this. We might not have. We might not do this video here. You know what I'm saying? You're again. What is my framing? Are you talking about this black border that I put on my graphics? What framing? What is my framing? My framing is that there's no convictions in the prosecution of these individuals in regards to their involvement in the water poisoning. Oh, that's interesting. Shout out to Jay. Jay said, by the way, side note, RBN attacks Jordan frequently because one of the members has a personal vendetta. Oh, for real? Jordan must have a little beef with Jimmy Dore or something like that. Yeah, I don't feel like you came for me. I don't understand why you're again. Have you not ever experienced like people attacking? Have you not seen that? Have you not ever experienced that? This is YouTube. It gets pretty messy. You ain't never seen nobody get attacked on YouTube? People be getting attacked out here. I don't know where you keep getting that this is an attack from or that you know what I'm saying, but it's all good. Everything cool here. And I gotta agree with win, lose, or rug. If you guys agree with win, lose, or rug, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Flint is such an outward example of America showing their disregard for Black life. That's a fact. That's big facts, bro. I appreciate your support, Black Magic. But like I said, though, I think that these kind of conversations are good to have. I think that they are. And I'm sorry that you feel like you're being attacked, but I want to assure you that you're not. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Adrian Hicks. What's good with you, bro? I assure you, I don't believe that you're hating on me. I don't believe that you are. I want to make sure that you know that. I don't think that you are. But the reason why I'm asking you the questions is because it's not a lot of times when commenters will actually give that kind of information, like the stuff that you said. And I think that it's important information because that's not the kind of stuff that we can get like on YouTube polls and on YouTube surveys and stuff like that. And it's good to be able to pick the people who engage in your content's brain to see what's on their mind to also help to make better content for them. You know what I'm saying? But I do pocket watch. I pocket watch everybody. I pocket watch everything. Hell yeah, I do. Now, I don't pocket watch and tell people how to spend their money. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. But I pocket watch them OnlyFans girls all the time. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no pockets though. They just be rolling up the dollars and stuffing it somewhere. But I pocket watch them for sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I try not to engage in beef. I don't blame you. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. But I want you to have faith in my goal. And I want you to have faith in me and not feel that I need to have luck. I want you to be confident in my abilities. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn Queen. I gotta make an AI character of you, Brooklyn Queen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I definitely be pocket watching them OnlyFans girls. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that don't be the only thing I'll be watching be the pockets, but you know what I'm saying? I'll definitely be pocket watching. Nah, I did not feel any kind of way. Please don't think that. I'm not that type of sensitive person. I just wanted to know exactly what was going on. I just wanted to get down to I wanted to get down to the nitty gritty, and I wanted to pick your brain a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You are and you don't need to apologize neither because you didn't do nothing wrong. You didn't call me no names. You ain't come at me crazy. You a-okay. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even trip. You good. Adrian Hicks said I pocket watch the OnlyFans girls too because facts. You know what I'm saying? Big facts. All right, so let's get back to Flint. Let's get back to Flint. Y'all want to get back to Flint? I know Black Magic want to get back to Flint, so we about to get back to Flint. But you cover your ears for this part, Black Magic, because we finna pocket watch real quick. So hold on real quick. Let's see what they're talking about here.
After 7 years of indictments but 0 convictions, the attempt to hold anyone criminally responsible for the Flint water crisis tonight is over. Tens of millions of dollars spent on attempting to prosecute everyone from the
Hold on real quick. I want to try to get this. Okay, there we go. This is just nonsense right here, man. I can't. Let me just stop.
Years of indictment.
Hold on. Okay, there we go.
After 7 years of indictments but 0 convictions, the attempt to hold anyone criminally responsible for the Flint water crisis tonight is over. Tens of millions of dollars spent on attempting to prosecute everyone from the former governor and his top aides to the state health department director and the chief medical executive, all of which went nowhere.
Mara McDonald live downtown. Mara, former Governor Rick Snyder, not mincing any words tonight.
Kimberly, he sure isn't. He calls what happened to him and his other top aides simple political persecution. Let me show you. When Attorney General Dana Nessel was elected, she opted to throw out everything her predecessor, AG Bill Schuete's legal team, had done on Flint and start from scratch.
But quite frankly, what happened to Flint and the people of Flint deserve a lot more than what you see there on the left side of the screen. This is appalling.
Appointing her now Deputy Chief AG Fadwa Hammoud and Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy to oversee Flint prosecutions. They brought charges against Snyder, his top aide Rich Baird, and State Health Department Director Nick Lyons, as well as others.
See, now what I think is that this woman here I don't think that this lady really actually cares about Flint. I think she did this prosecution of this individual and tied it to Flint to get her political points. I don't think that she ever thought that this was going to go anywhere. And she knew that. But she used Flint to further her political goals of dragging and embarrassing her predecessor, which is one of the reasons why, if you ask me, the focus of this wasn't about justice for the people in Flint. It was about her vendetta. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is one of the reasons why this probably ultimately failed as well. If she actually was worried about actually getting those people justice, then I think that it wouldn't. There would have been more focus on the actual issues, and there would have been a higher likelihood of them actually getting somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Right, he could. Facts. Shout out to Carlton. If y'all agree with Carlton, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Carlton said Biden can send some of that Flint, Biden can send Flint some of that Ukraine money. Facts. He could, if he wanted to, but he don't. You know what I'm saying?
Appointing her now Deputy Chief AG Fadwa Hammoud and Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy to oversee Flint prosecutions. They brought charges against Snyder, his top aide Rich Baird, and State Health Department Director Nick Lyons, as well as others. 9 in total, only to see their cases collapse because of how they went about doing it. They used a one-man grand jury, which the Michigan Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision, said was a no-go. The cases were all dismissed. Nessel's office appealed and lost again. The final case being closed is that of former Governor Rick Snyder, who said in part, quote, "I only wish that this dismissal would represent the end of political persecutions in Michigan forever. Unfortunately, the only way to end political persecutions would require electing attorney generals and prosecutors who believe in facts, have a moral compass, and act with civility." Back here live, as of tonight, the total of taxpayer dollars that have been spent on these prosecutions, it's hovering around $60 million. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Well, okay.
So they spent $60 million. That's a $60 million nothing burger. You know what I'm saying? So there's another article, and this article is from the New York Times. I was going to read it, but I'm going to just put it in the chat for you guys. You guys might want to check it out. I think we got enough information. I don't think there's too much more that we can get out of that. For the most part, this thing is over. They dropped the ball. You know what I'm saying? So now, shout out to Lehman Lucas. I don't know if Lehman Lucas is in here or not. If he is, make sure you guys throw some radiation emoji in the chat for him. But we're going to talk about this other idiots right here. This person right here. Police officer who groomed more than 200 children on Snapchat given 13 life sentences. Lewis Edwards. I think this took place in the UK. A police officer believed to be Britain's most prolific online P-word groomed more than 200 children on Snapchat, a court heard. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Now, the question that I got is, how did this pig end up becoming a pig? That's my question. Lewis Edwards posed as a teenage boy. So this is what he did. He posed as a teenage boy to groom 210 girls aged between 10 and 16 and then forced them to send him indecent images that he secretly recorded. He then blackmailed many of his victims with threats to tell their family and friends unless they sent increasingly graphic content. Edward was branded as cruel and sadistic as he was handed 13 life sentences by a judge on Wednesday. The 24-year-old also threatened to bomb the house of one of his victims and shoot her parents if she ended communication, Cardiff Crown Court heard. So he was a violent bully. You know what I'm saying? This dude was a violent bully. You know what I'm saying? Many of his victims have suffered suicidal feelings, anxiety, and depression, with one so traumatized she slept with a hammer under her pillow. Judge Tracy Lloyd Clark, the recorder of Cardiff, imposed 13 life sentences for each of the most serious offenses and imposed a minimum term of imprisonment of 12 years. Judge Lloyd Clark said he has caused significant harm to the victims, to their parents, their siblings, and their wider families. It's clear that he not only gained sexual gratification from his offending, but that he also enjoyed the power and control that he had over these young girls. So this dude was sick. Now, mind you, I'm going to ask y'all this question. If he was doing this to these young girls, do y'all think that he did this to the suspects that he had in custody? Let me know what y'all think. And also, real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. If you guys haven't smashed the like button yet, please take a moment. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment with that. Hit the bell. And please share the stream to your social media. His reaction to their distress can properly be described as cruel and sadistic. His offending is significantly aggravated by the fact that he was a serving police officer. Yeah. And like I said, if you got a pattern of behavior like that, of bullying people that are that you have custody over, that's a bad sign. Yeah, bro, he was a cop. This dude was a cop, and he acted like he was only 15. He tricked these girls by acting like he was only 15. Many of his victims and their families said that his actions have caused them to lose trust in the police. There is no doubt he has caused significant harm to the reputations of the South Wales police and to policing generally. Many of the victims and their family were sitting in the packed public gallery for the hearing, but Edwards refused to attend, with the judge saying she did not have the power to force him to appear. How did he what? How did the judge not have power to force him to appear? Yeah, I gotta agree. Shout out to David M. Thornton. David M. Thornton says, I sure believe he treated suspects the same way. Another criminal who wore a badge. Facts. If you guys agree with him, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. I agree. Edwards, who joined the South Wales Police Force in January of 2021, has since resigned, had previously pled guilty to 22 counts of blackmail, 138 child sex offenses, and a further offense of refusing to disclose the password to a mobile phone and USB stick. He got a charge for that? That's what he get. Trifling, man. These people don't have any shame. The court heard all but one of the victims were abused while he was serving as a police officer, and he targeted one teenager just 17 days after meeting her as part of his duties. Investigators found that on 30 occasions, Edward was in contact with his victims while on duty. So he was on duty using taxpayer dollars to commit crimes. Right, exactly. There's a reason why he won't open that phone up. And I gotta agree with Carla. I believe that he did it to anybody he thought that he could get away with it with. Yeah, that's facts. You know what I'm saying? Detectives raided the home that he shared with his parents in Bridgen, South Wales, in February this year and seized mobile phones, a computer, USB stick, and a hard drive. In a victim impact statement, the girl described Edwards as a P word and added, "I was a little girl. I felt embarrassed, disgusted, and abused. I lost my innocence." In a statement released following the case, a spokeswoman for Snapchat said that the social media platform had recently added a new warning for teenagers. Any sexual exploitation of young people is abhorrent and illegal, and our hearts go out to the victims. In this case, she said, we work in multiple ways to detect and prevent this type of abuse, including using cutting-edge detection technology. And we work with police to support investigations. So now, again, this is interesting, right? And again, shout out to Professor Black Truth, because I don't know if anybody watched Professor Black Truth's video that he did this morning, but he was actually talking about how the social media companies frequently cooperate with police. Here's an example. You know what I'm saying? Here's an example. We have extra protections for under 18 and recently added a new pop-up warning for teens if they are contacted by someone who they don't know. Our family center allows parents to see who their teens are talking to. So this dude is sick, and he'll never see the light of day again, which he don't need to be seeing the light of day. Now, let me see. Hold on real quick. Is there anybody who knows who Marilyn Mosby is? If you know who Marilyn Mosby is, spill the beans. Shout out to Speak Facts Podcast. What's good with it, bro? If you know who Marilyn Mosby is, give me the rundown. Yeah, I know who she is. She got a picture with Kamala Harris. I don't know if that's a good thing. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you show some love to my man Speak Facts Podcast, who just became a YouTube member. Shout out to him and Carlton for becoming YouTube members. Make sure you guys throw some radiation emoji in the chat and show them some love. Definitely appreciate it. Yep, the Baltimore DA. Y'all got it. Now, remember, she's supposed to be a damn DA. She part of the laws. You know what I'm saying? She's part of the laws. Just as corrupt as every damn thing else. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Do y'all think that she was working with Safe Street? All these criminals be in close proximity. Now, this took place in Colorado. A heavily armed man deleted himself rather than shoot up Colorado amusement park, authorities said. Well, I mean, I guess that's nice. Right? I guess that's nice. Why are we making those kind of decisions, or, in those kind of situations where we'll say, I don't know. I instead of shooting up the park, I'm going to delete myself. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Which topic was you talking about, Al? That Marilyn Mosby, if that's her name. Let me see. Yeah, Marilyn Mosby. That's what you was bringing up, or you was talking about this right here. This dude that decided to be heavily armed and then delete himself. So check this out. A heavily armed man deleted himself rather than carry out an apparent plan to shoot up a mountaintop amusement park in Colorado, authorities said Monday. So Colorado just barely escaped a mass shooting. Oh, Mosby. All right, appreciate it, Carla. They just barely escaped another mass shooting. Oh, is this him? He killed him. He deleted himself in a woman's bathroom. A maintenance crew found a 20-year-old man dead in a bathroom at Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park on Saturday morning before it opened to the public. The man, identified by the Garfield County Coroner's Office as Diego Barajas Medina, died of a single gunshot wound to the head. Medina was armed with an AR-style rifle, a semi-automatic handgun, and explosives, and was wearing body armor and tactical clothing similar to what a police SWAT team member might wear, authorities said. Well, you know what that means. He was wearing the uniform. He was wearing the uniform. Let me ask you guys a question. How many people know what the uniform is? What's the uniform? Yeah, that park do look dope. Oh boy was wearing the uniform. And shout out to Brooklyn Queen Carla and Denise for hitting the Nightbot. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate it. Yes. Shout out to Val. Irregular Forces of WS. Big facts. Peyton Gendron had the uniform on. The uniform is why you have to ask yourself the question, why do all of these mass shooters look indistinguishable from police? Paramilitary tactical gear. Facts. What the SWAT team wears. Facts. Dress like a cop or the army. Facts. All facts. A message saying, "I am not a killer. I just want to get into the caves," was written on the wall of the woman's bathroom where the man was found lying on the floor, according to Garfield County Sheriff Lou Valerio. Nearby officers found a handgun and explosive devices, some real, some fake, he added. The AR rifle was on a counter nearby, along with a duty belt holding several ammunition magazines, authorities added. Valerio could not say for certain that the suspect left a message. Now, here goes my question. With all of that stuff that individual had, do you all think that guy was going to go and delete a bunch of people at that park? And I got to agree, in the woman's bathroom means something. Facts. Facts, AB. He didn't do that by accident. He did that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? The FBI and multiple authorities have joined the Garfield County Sheriff's Office in investigating the case. Officials said Medina made an unauthorized entry to the premises after park hours. Authorities said Medina was dressed in black tactical clothing, bearing patches and emblems that gave him the appearance of being associated with law enforcement. So again, he was wearing the uniform. He was wearing the uniform. We've talked about the uniform before. Now, here goes my question. Why is it that when it comes to talking about these kind of situations, these mass deletions and different things like that, do you notice how the mainstream media never talks about, quote unquote, the uniform? My question is, why don't they? Why not? Why don't they talk about it? Why don't they talk about the uniform? If they talked about the uniform, what the uniform does is the uniform unifies all of these different situations. The uniform will be one of the main things that starts to make it seem a lot less like isolated events, because now what you have is all of these people are wearing the same gear. What if a bunch of people all wore the same sports jersey and did a crime? Do you think that they would link that together? Oh, that's gang activity. They all got this jersey on with the number 13 on it. You know what I'm saying? They all got this Oakland Raiders jersey on with the number 34 on it. Oh, that's because they from 34th Street. Those is the 34th Street Raiders. That's why they got that Raiders jersey on with that number 34 on it. Okay, what about these people that wear these outfits that look like the police? Oh, you know, they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Yeah, but they look exactly like the police. Like if they was mixed in with a crowd of police, we wouldn't be able to tell. Ain't got nothing to do with it. Let me ask you guys a question. Most of these mass shooters are WS and they're highly racist, right? Which is interesting because those mass shooters do the same thing to black people that the police do, and they wear the same uniform. Do you think that people run from the police because they might mistake them for mass shooters? Are some police officers mass shooters? Shout out to Kareem. What's good with it? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't hit that like button, please take a moment, hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't shared the stream, please make sure you guys share the stream to your social media. Also, make sure you guys hit the bell. And also make sure you follow my backup channels and my other social media. Shamika said she want to know what cave he talking about. She want to know if it was in the Caucasus Mountains or not. He was armed with a semi-automatic rifle and a semi-automatic handgun, as well as multiple loaded magazines for both weapons, police said. He wore body armor, all right? He wore body armor and what appeared to be a ballistic helmet. Additionally, multiple improvised explosive devices were discovered with the suspect and in a vehicle associated with him, authorities added. Okay? While this investigation is still ongoing and very active, it is important to realize that the given amount of weaponry, ammunition, and explosive devices found, the suspect could have implemented an attack of devastating proportions upon our community and first responders, the Garfield County Sheriff's Office said. So now here goes my question. How come nobody's asking the question, well, is it starting to become problematic that a lot of these shooters are better armed than the damn police? These people be coming in with more guns than the damn police. Now, you know how they question rap music and ask about rap music? Is rap music the reason why all these people do these mass shootings and stuff like that? Let me ask you guys a question. How many white people grew up on watching cowboy movies and John Wayne and all of that? You know what I'm saying? The cowboys in the Wild Wild West, in the battles at the saloon. You know what I'm saying? The Quick Draw McGraw and all of this stuff. Didn't all they used to do was watch TV shows about shooting other people indiscriminately? Dirty Harry and stuff like that. Charles Bronson. What's my favorite scene on Godfather? Oh, dude, I liked when Sonny got shot up at the toll booth, man. Don't nobody say anything about that though. It's not attributed to culture. Why not? That's my question for y'all. Why is that not attributed to culture? Somebody make that make sense. The discoveries prompted the sheriff's office to call for the assistance of the Grand Junction Bomb Squad. Additionally, the Garfield County All Hazards Response Team was called to complete a sweep of the park to ensure no other IEDs were planted around the park or rides. The FBI also provided assistance, the release said. The sheriff's office said the first 2 days of the investigation were carried out in a slow, methodical manner. They were probably carried out like in a slow, special learning manner. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the police here. Authorities said they prioritized the safety of the public, bomb disposal personnel, law enforcement, and other first responders, as well as made sure the caverns were safe to reopen. Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park, which has been recognized as the best amusement park in Colorado, is home to the highest elevation looping roller coaster in the United States. In 2021, $68,000 in fines were levied against the park. We pocket watching, where a 6-year-old Colorado Springs girl was killed on one of the rides over that Labor Day weekend. Damn, that's terrible, man. 6-year-old girl lost her life on that ride. So there's that. These people were lucky, man. What do you guys think made that individual snap and just go in the bathroom and delete himself? What made him do it? What happened? That's the question. So, ladies and gentlemen, players and pimps, we've been live for 2 hours and 19 minutes. I appreciate you guys. Let me know if you guys like those AI characters. You know what I'm saying? I just been playing around with that stuff. People that frequent the chat, you know what I'm saying? I've been trying to drop little, pictures, little AI artwork, see if y'all like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Just testing the waters with some of that stuff because I got some new stuff that I plan on doing. Shout out to everybody that came to the stream. Let me know what you guys think about how, as far as like me putting the streams on private and on members only. You know what I'm saying? I think it seems like the views, the watch hours and all that stuff hasn't gone down. So it seems like people are still able to navigate. Okay, you guys are finding everything the right way. So it doesn't seem like anything is lost. So that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be like that indefinitely. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a good way to, kind of stay off the radar as far as like, YouTube just out here zapping channels and stuff like that. I want to shout out all my people, man, that helped your boy out with super chats. Shout out to my man Lloyd Scott 9 with the $5 super chat. Shout out to my man Carlton Way. Carlton Way been a big part of the channel for a long time, man. In the chat, chopping it up. He don't never miss a stream. Shout out to Carlton Way. You know what I'm saying? He became a YouTube member. That's awesome. All we gotta do. I don't want to put DJ Elmo on the spot, but we gotta get DJ Elmo as a member, and we'll be in there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Magic for the conversation. You know what I'm saying? She allowed me to grossly troll her, you know what I'm saying, for about 45 minutes. So shout out to her, you know what I'm saying? And actually shout out to her for the good conversation that we had, you know what I'm saying? And I learned a new YouTuber that I can check out from her. So shout out to her for that. Make sure y'all show her some love with the $10 super chat. Shout out to my man Speaks Facts podcast as well with the membership. Definitely appreciate y'all, man. We getting there on both channels. We getting close to 100 members. You know what I'm saying? So again, shout out to y'all. We getting there. It may not seem like it because y'all know YouTube be playing games, but don't worry about YouTube playing games because I'm not worried about them playing games. We getting there. You know what I'm saying? Whether it shows it or not, we're getting there. You know what I mean? And as usual, ladies and gentlemen,
Up in the life. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him. Don't believe me? Come and see me. Got 3 wishes from my genie. Now I'm on your local TV. Y'all on tour, got demons. Say she wanna come and see me when I'm in a local city. I'm like, pause though. Please step aside so they can see me. And I walk up in this like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, I'm really him. I'm the realest from my city. That's on money, that's on TV, that's on mamas. Niggas don't believe me, come and see me. I been dodging all that face. All these niggas working broke, but I been getting paid. All that know me from the street. Flexing for what feature, that's like every other week. Talk behind my back, I kick my feet up, have a seat. Cause at the end of the day, all these watching me as I walk up in this like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him. Hold up.